So welcome everyone once again to the event, and today we will start with a presentation by Eda, and then we will have a short testing session of the platform. We have two different versions, so we will go through both of them, and then we will have a panel discussion hosted by Anna Vähäsalo, who will actually, I could ask you, Anna, already to come here. Maybe you can introduce yourself and kind of take over the hosting of the event. Yes. Great. And then after that, we will have roundtable discussions and summary and closing remarks. And we'll be ending around 12:15. So thank you for me, and Anna Vähäsalo will present the first speaker.
Please, Eda Gürel, you have been running this project from the very beginning, and as far as I'm concerned, you're also very established in your research, and you've been publishing things about, for example, different segments, especially visiting museums and the customer experience when it comes to museums. Please tell us more about, I think there are a lot of people who would like to know more about the CULTURATI.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the 4th international event of CULTURATI. I am Dr. Eda Gürel from Bilkent University. I'm the coordinator of this project. I have a presentation. I'd like to give you an idea about what we are doing in our project. So I think you're able to see. I think this is much better. All right. Well, CULTURATI is a Horizon Europe Research and Innovation Action Project. We started in February year 2003, and it is going to be completed in January year 2026. We are in month 28. It's a project with a budget over 3.1 million euros. Our consortium has 14 partners from 6 different countries. The coordinator is from Turkey, Bilkent University. We have 2 partners from Finland. One of them is a pilot site that we are right now in, Porvoo. Haaga University Applied Sciences is one of our project partners. And Porvoo Kapunki is an affiliated partner. We have other partners from United Kingdom, Germany, Italy. What else? We have partners from Spain. And yes, I think I have covered all of them from 6 different countries. In our project, what we are doing is we like to build an inclusive cultural educational ecosystem in which different individuals and organizations can create content, co-create content, I should say. So people from the society, actually that may include anyone from the society with cultural and artistic knowledge, can create content for this platform. Actually, in the future, we have some dreams of this could become another social media. Like we do share our personal information lives in the Facebook, but with the CULTURATI, we can share our cultural and artistic knowledge, which would then be provided to individuals at sites like Porvoo with the help of interactive games and routes. These are the project objectives of CULTURATI. So first thing first, we like to develop the technologies of CULTURATI, and we like to test, verify, and validate the technologies of CULTURATI at different pilot sites. One of them is Porvoo, as I pointed out. Of course, in the long run, what we like to achieve is to enhance the collaboration between cultural creative industries, and we like to increase accessibility, awareness, and understanding for cultural values and heritage in Europe, for Europe, and in the international arena. Of course, we like to present cultural heritage because we like to uncover the hidden stories of culture and arts from the societies, and these are going to be available for the future generations. But in the meantime, of course, we like to increase the economic, socioeconomic development at regions, because we like to integrate entrepreneurs, small shop owners in the platform of CULTURATI, so that they have a platform to share their heritage with the future generations and the visitors who are visiting the sites. So we have 5 pilot sites in the project. Porvoo is one of them. In Italy, Ascoli Satriano. In Turkey, we have 2 pilot sites. One of them is the Ankara Citadel. The other one is Istanbul Rahmi Koç Museum. And in the UK, we have the Blenheim Palace, which is a World Heritage Site. So what is the main benefit of CULTURATI is we like to provide customized information and navigation to visitors at sites. But this is not like a guide that you would be familiar with, because first thing first, the content is co-created for CULTURATI, and it is delivered, it has a database in a way, and this information in its database is delivered through games and routes. Games are question and answer games. So, as you know, we are university professors, so we like people to learn. And what I do in my classes most of the time is to start the lectures with a question. So, question triggers the mind. So that's why we like to forward questions to individuals, so that we would be making them think about what they are going to see on site. And in a way, these are like treasure hunt games, but the material is provided from anybody in the society. So CULTURATI can be used at cultural creative industries, like including museums, palaces, art galleries, and also artists, entrepreneurs, designers, painters can also use CULTURATI in order to deliver their stories. And really, in the society, anyone with cultural and artistic knowledge can share at CULTURATI, so that it will be delivered to the visitors through games and routes. Of course, CULTURATI can be used by natural sites as well, or archaeological sites, or even cities can use CULTURATI in the future. There are various technologies which you may use in order to discover cities or places. But generally, these types of technologies provide the same information to everyone in the same order. And time to time, visitors are overloaded with information because they may not like to have that much information. And these are not inclusive. These platforms do not generally integrate everyone's knowledge into the platform. So what is different in CULTURATI is we try to bring the right information to the right person. But it is going to be curated, in other words. It has some data in its database. We like to curate the right information for the right person and deliver it at the right time. Because CULTURATI also includes navigation. So when you are not familiar at a site, for instance, you don't know where to go. Behind you, the next route, there may be something really fascinating for you, but you wouldn't know. So this is the aim. This is what we like to bring with CULTURATI. And the content is co-created. So CULTURATI has 2 subsystems, education and navigation. The question and answer games are part of the educational part of the system. And for navigation, we try to direct the person to the right location with the help of the sensors that we place in Porvoo. So maybe you don't realize, but these sensors are already working in Porvoo. With our games en route, we are, of course, developing. Right now we have the second prototype of CULTURATI. We are integrating group games. Families and groups are going to be different. In CULTURATI, we are going to keep the family members together, but as far as groups are concerned, in order to make it more competitive, we are going to be directing them to different locations at the sites, but they will be competing. So as far as content creators are concerned, you can think of CULTURATI's platform as SurveyMonkey. I'm sure there are some educators here and they are familiar with this tool, SurveyMonkey. So it is like creating your own questionnaires in a way with CULTURATI. So you need to create your questions, some multiple choice answers. They can be true, false as well. And if you add some more information, then those information can be used for the route followers who doesn't want to play question and answer games. It works with the help of sensors. It has an algorithm. The algorithm is working based on a number of elements. One of the elements is your preferences and the level of information that you like to receive. There are professionals that are, with basic knowledge. So different individuals, we know that in the classrooms as well, we try to customize what we are teaching in the classrooms according to the audience, for instance. So we have the same idea. But at the same time, the system is working with the help of carrying capacity. So we like to manage the crowd on sites as well, because we don't want the very best places or popular places to be crowded at the same time at once, but we like to manage crowd so that each and every individual is going to be able to enjoy the site at their own time and space. And the platform is inclusive, in other words. So in a nutshell, in summary, CULTURATI is a system which is customized, dynamic, proactive, and inclusive. Proactive because we aim to prevent crowd on sites. It's dynamic because we don't have a fixed tour like the usual ones that we are familiar with. And also it is customizable because the visitors can choose based on their preferences. It is also important for content creators because generally artists in the society have very limited budget, so they don't have the right tools to make their knowledge accessible by a wider audience. So what we like to do is we like to provide them something easy to use, and also it's going to be cost effective and it's going to save time for them because there is no other person involved in the process. It is cloud-based, and as a result, the games and routes are virtually accessible. So wherever you are around the world, you can access the platform of Porvoo and have a tour in Porvoo. Our system involves AI. What we like to do is, with our AI integration, we like to help content creators to easily create questions and answers, multiple choices, and information. With the help of an important partner that we have in the project, we have the editor role. We added the editor role in order to check the content created by various content creators. So we like to make sure the information is accurate and it is presented in an effective manner, let me say, in an accurate and in an effective manner. So the prototype version 2 is out now. So in a minute you can try the Porvoo app. During the project, we like to enhance the user experience. So in the version 2, we have better features, added features, and also the experience is better. So if you try the application and tell us what you are thinking about it and how we can improve it, we really would be grateful for that. And in order to encourage participation and, in order to increase awareness for CULTURATI, we have a challenge. So please inform your students and colleagues, friends. They should be using CULTURATI. And we have a survey which is going to take around 15 minutes, but it is important for academic purposes as well. If you share your thoughts with us, we are going to be grateful. In addition, if you share your experience on social media, the person with the most likes is going to win a trip to Blenheim Palace. And for the UK participants, it is going to be one of the other pilot sites, so they can choose as they like. They may like to come to Porvoo as well. And we are looking for more content creators. So this is, in a way, in order to make sure that the shops, for instance, in Porvoo, and those people with, heritage, share their knowledge with us for the future generations and for those people who are visiting Porvoo. Because, as you know, in new places, there is not much information, and we just look around, try to understand what this, building would be, what history it would be. Whether it is a school building, whether it is a hospital, we would not understand what it is from the outside. But we would like to know, some about the destinations so that we can have a better experience on sites. And then we can share these for the future. We have very good feedback from our content creators in the other pilot sites. With the help of the CULTURATI, they uncover the hidden stories. So this is what we like to do. We don't want to present something already available on Google or what ChatGPT would provide you. But we like to deliver what is in the memories, in the hearts of individuals. For instance, that, fabric painter, for instance, what inspiration she has, or her grandmother, during the Second World War, what they did cook in Porvoo in order to survive, for instance. These are the untold stories, and these are what we like to uncover. That's why I mentioned Facebook. In Facebook, we are sharing the personal lives, where we have been, which movie we have seen. But with CULTURATI, we like to uncover the untold stories that people have. The impact of CULTURATI includes a number of things. One of them is for the visitors. We like to enrich their experiences when they are on sites. And also we like to unlock hidden cultural treasures and to make them available for future generations. And also, with the help of CULTURATI, we like to increase socioeconomic development. In other words, we like this small shop to make more money because it is on the parallel street, and nobody knows and nobody goes to the corner of that street and realize that there is a magnificent shop there with so much treasure. So we like these small shops to be discovered as well, so that they would be making money. So socio-cultural, socio-economic development, these are what, in essence, CULTURATI is about. So I'd like to thank my colleagues at Haaga-Helia University Applied Sciences from the very beginning. They put their heart into this project. Mario, thank you so much. You're a very special person. And he brought along Robin. Robin is also amazing, together with Susanna from Porvoo Kapunki, and Sari And Tanya, thank you very much for your support from the beginning. It's lovely to be working with you. Thank you very much. So it is now time to try the second prototype. But this is a prototype. Do not expect a lot. But this is our aim. During the project, we are improving the platform and the application so that in the end of month 36, we are going to deliver something better. But still, it is a prototype. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. All right, now we have 15 minutes to try the application. But of course, in order to understand what it is doing exactly and what weaknesses it has, you should be in the old town. So in the old town, there are sensors. With the help of these sensors, data will be in the future navigating the people in less crowded areas. So this is the aim. Try the app later on as well, when you are in the town. Thank you so much.
All right, so while you are testing it on your phones, I can also have a short demo of it here online. So we see the web application version. It's actually designed for mobile devices. So when using it on a browser, there is a risk that some things don't work perfectly. But we will try it on browser here as well. Yeah. So this is how the starting screen looks. And then here up you can choose the language. There is Swedish, Finnish, and English, as we are in Porvoo, a bilingual town in Finland. There's about 30% is speaking Swedish as their first language. So let's try the English version, and we have to check the box here. And then we try, for instance, a game version, and here we have different routes. Some of these have been developed, for instance, these stories from boutiques, cafes, and restaurants is developed with the local shopkeepers and restaurant, those who have restaurants in Old Town. And that is a route, so let's not try that one. But for instance, these stories from Porvoo's old houses, this is a more historic thing. Then you choose a level. And then it asks you for the starting point. Now this is really, really good that it asks you for the location. This is if it asks you this, then you have to allow it, because then it can find you hopefully on the. Now using it on a browser, the location will not work as well. But in those cases, it's possible to move the cursor to the place where we are. So in this case, the Hagahelia building here in Porvoo. Is over here, so then it will locate us correctly. And now it shows a route for us, so we can click this down, and then it shows a path to follow. And when we go enter to the path or arrive there, then we answer this question. So when is the Myllynen warehouse? This is the red brick house by the river there built, and then you can also find out clues from here. The building was completed 55 years before the Mannheim Street Bridge. You have to have some local knowledge to use that clue, but yeah. And then in the information part, you will find an information about it. Here. We haven't yet uploaded the image of the building, but the idea is that here is the image of the building, and then you have text. But it doesn't need to be text. So we have also some recordings in some of the content where you press play and then you can listen to it. And this is something I think will be quite important in the future to have. And maybe something also AI can help us with reading this kind of text into an easier access format. Reading long text on phones is always a bit tedious. So on the X you go back, and now if we, for instance, we can guess something here. Let's see, that was wrong. Let's see if that would be the correct. Yeah, that was the right one. And now it takes us to the next place then. So this is the logic of the application. Doesn't look as good on browser as on phones. Next, I would invite David to come and show their version from Blenheim Palace, which is a bit different. There were many versions, or 2 versions developed, as the Blenheim Palace also they put their own efforts into creating a more visual application. So welcome, welcome, David.
Technology works, that's amazing. Firstly, I'd like to say good morning. I barely got some sleep because my wonderful Finnish wife decided to read out the BBC News at 4 a.m. this morning, which wasn't particularly interesting, but kept me awake. Thank you, I think is the first thing to say. Without Eda, Arzu, Neşe, without the support of the Turkish team, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you very much indeed. And also to Susanna as well. We've had such great hospitality here in old Porvoo. My wife keeps correcting me on that one. But we've had a fantastic experience here, so thank you all. A little tour of Blenheim very quickly. So Blenheim is the home of the 12th Duke of Marlborough. It's also the birthplace of Sir Winston Churchill. It was built in 1704, and it's quite a unique estate. About a third of the United Kingdom is a landed or private estate like Blenheim Palace, and we share lots of things in common. So we have these incredible landscapes. We have 12,500 acres of landscapes, 2,000 acres of formal gardens, and quite often in the middle we have these big old buildings. And these buildings require constant renovation, conservation. And Blenheim doesn't actually look like this right now. We're currently spending £12 million re-roofing the project, re-roofing the building. And this is where the CULTURATI project really comes in, because we can start telling stories that haven't been told before. If we look at most multimedia guides, they start from here and they finish here, and they're quite, in England, they're often read by a very old-fashioned lady who would say, "Welcome to Blenheim Palace," and it would be told in the same way, and everyone gets the same route, as Eda was describing. With CULTURATI, we can tell stories by various different people. So the ecosystem we can see here, you can see the most important thing is the content. And we've got over 50 content creators right now. So we have anyone from our palace guides through to people in the community, through to some of the Dukes of Marlborough's family as well, all telling stories and hidden stories about their experiences with Blenheim and Blenheim landscapes. And also, unlike our previous audio guide, which was very much focused on the building, we can take those stories out into the landscapes as well. So we start talking about the biodiversity, the birds, the trees. We have the largest collection of ancient oaks in Europe, and we can talk about those, and we can get our visitors to explore much more of the estate than they would typically. The database we've created, you can see here, very similar to the other database that's been created. It's got lots of different multimedia formats, anything from audio, video, and text and imagery content. We share that information with via an API, which I won't go into too much, to give us a slightly different version of the application, which I'll show you in a second. We've also generated an algorithm that allows us to use sensors to predict how many people are in an area right now and how busy those areas are. So we can start nudging our visitors into different parts of the building too. On the right-hand side here, you can see a little demo of the application, and I'll talk that through in a little bit. And just going back to that content, what was very important when we were looking at what stories we wanted to tell is some people were no longer here. So if you look at the gentleman on the bottom left-hand corner, this is Archie Illingworth. And Archie was our very first palace guide and administrator. Actually, Heather took over from him. Was it a second role after Archie Illingworth? So the palace opened in 1950, and Archie died, I think, in about 1980. And with the permission of his family, we've been able to clone Archie's voice. And Archie's got a few things he'd like to say to you right now. So hopefully this will work.
Hello, I'm Archie Illingworth. I began my journey at Blenheim Palace back in 1950, becoming the very first guide to show visitors around this magnificent home. It's rather amusing now to think about those early days with His Grace, the 10th Duke of Marlborough. Oh, he used to blame me for everything that went wrong in the house. If something was missing or out of place, Illingworth would echo through the corridors. But you know, over time, we developed the most wonderful relationship. And now, long after me, and looking at what you've all achieved with this CULTURATI application, I'm simply amazed. To the entire project team who've worked so tirelessly to bring these stories to life in such an innovative way, thank you. You've managed to capture not just the grandeur of Blenheim, but its heart and soul too. From the developers who've mastered the technical wizardry to the historians and guides who've carefully preserved our stories, to the creative minds who've made it all so engaging, you've done something truly special. What you've created here isn't just a guide, it's a bridge between the past and the present. It would have made His Grace proud to see how you're sharing Blenheim stories with a new generation. When I first started here, I could never have imagined such a thing would be possible. Yet, here we are, and it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you all for keeping the spirit of Blenheim Palace alive in such a remarkable way. I look forward to seeing how CULTURATI develops into the future. All the best, Archie.
So, well done to Archie for that one. So it's a really good use case, actually, of AI. So not only can we use AI to translate. Now, if we look at the 2,500 pieces of content that Blenheim's created, to translate that into 10, 12 different languages for our international audience would be far out of reach. It would be probably in the six figures, something like that, to translate that amount of content. So using the latest AI, so we've used DeepL to translate our content. We've now got 12 languages available. My wife did help with a little bit of the Finnish, but with the help of AI, we've been able to translate all 2,500 pieces of content. And then using technology like voice cloning, we can tell stories for those that are no longer here. And I think that's really quite special too. So coming back to the uncovering new stories, it's probably the most exciting thing that CULTURATI has brought out for us. And just pointing your eyes over here to the guy at the left here, this is Bill Brown. Throughout this project, we've been getting a lot of media attention, and one of the family members contacted me. Bill Brown's family member contacted me about 12 months ago and said, my father was a stonemason at Blenheim, and he was very quiet. He didn't tell anyone these stories except me. And he did a lot of the carvings. He did a lot of the restoration in the 1950s. And during one of the restorations, which I thought was fantastic, he carved a little cannon, and he hid it on the roof. We don't know where it is right now, but it's quite a romantic story to think that somewhere on the roof is something that Bill Brown created. And again, with her permission, we can clone Bill's voice, and we can get Bill to tell the stories of the work he carried out at Blenheim, all delivered through the CULTURATI application. So really very, very exciting. I should also point to, on the right-hand side, here, another story that we uncovered. Apparently, we tested Spitfires during World War II on the ground at Blenheim Palace, and you can see one of the photographs here on the estates of the guns being tested in one of the barns. So what if I told you that phones were out of date? What if I told you this is not the future? What if we thought about interpretation completely differently? What if we could have culturati in our glasses? What if these eyes-up experiences could be less intrusive, less staring down, less wayfinding, looking at your telephone? But what if culturati could power new interpretation in the future? And this is what we hope will happen with culturati. Over the next 3 to 5 years, with the advancement of smart glasses, I believe culturati will be in your vision. I believe when you look at an object, the information about that object in your language will come to you. I really believe that will happen. And already just the sort of next steps with culturati for Blenheim, not only do we want to wrap it into a downloadable application, just again to enhance user experience, while still maintaining the web application, we believe things like touchscreens will provide better accessibility to our audiences too. We've also developed the way of having QR codes around our site, so actually to invoke that interaction with culturati, to take you straight to that content is also very important. So as you travel around Blenheim, you'll see a number of different QR codes that will get you to culturati much, much sooner. So I invite you to have a look at culturati.blenheimpalace.com. This is our version. It's exactly the same format in terms of selecting your level. For us, it's you've been to Blenheim before or you haven't. To select your category, so you'll see anything from social history there to the arts through to the collection. And then it will take you, curate special tours for you that you can then explore, and you can explore that on your phone right now if you wish. That's everything from me. Thank you very much.
Får jag loss den? Okay. Yes. And please, Eda, Sami, please, Sari. Who else do we have? IOTIQ, Mr. IOTIQ, welcome. Thank you very much. Like Robin said, I'm Anna Vähäsalo. I work as a senior lecturer here at Haaga-Helia University of Applied Sciences. I'm teaching mainly marketing and communication, and I'm going to facilitate this panel today. We will not have that much time for maybe dialogue and debate, but please feel free to fill in. I will start with Eda. Like I said, thank you so much. It was very impressive, and I especially loved how you said that CULTURATI could create a new social media, social platform in the future. In your view, how can technologies explored in the CULTURATI project reshape the way we experience cultural heritage and art?
Thank you so much. We can explore cultural heritage and arts in our own way. Actually, this is what we like to achieve, because we know that the information that's generally available in museums or in places that we go, one information is provided for everyone. There is a saying for that. What is it? One size fits all. Actually, this is not really, exciting for everyone, because some people are interested in history, some people are interested in art, some people are interested in food, for instance. So each and every individual will be able to explore and discover places in their own way. This is our hashtag, actually, CULTURATI Like My Way. This is what we like to say, convey, and at the same time, we encourage them to like, the content created by the content creators. So in the future, there may be some content creators like YouTubers. And to be honest, with CULTURATI, we like everyone to make money, including the content creators. So it could be, in a way, with the help of advertisements that we may use in CULTURATI. So CULTURATI would be making the money from the advertisements, but there must be a kind of a way that we encourage people to create content for the platform. But we don't like to charge the visitors. It should be free of charge for them and for the sites as well. So with the help of advertisements, this is what we have in mind, bring the best experience to visitors as well as the content creators, because knowledge is very valuable. It shouldn't be easily, freely available. This is what we do. But companies are making a lot of money, so why can they sponsor, why can they support platforms like CULTURATI? So this is what we like to do in the future. We'll see. But if we go back to our initial question, everybody is going to be able to experience the sites on their own way. Thank you so much.
That's a wonderful, wonderful answer. Also, I think I love the idea about this open platform where everybody can be part of co-creating the experience. I was fortunate enough to get to know David a little bit last time, and as many of you are visiting Finland and Porvoo, maybe for the first time, David had already explored both south, it was Siuntio, and the East Finland, Joensuu, because you were so, I may be impartial here, but you are so fortunate, as you mentioned, that you married a Finnish lady. But your everyday life is much more regal and much more, you're surrounded by a very aristocratic surrounding. As head of innovation for Blenheim Palace, how can historic sites remain relevant and thrive in the digital age?
Thank you. And I did have a very, very nice dinner with Anna last night. I was very nervous about this moment. I was going to say no comment when she asked me a question, but I guess I need to answer now. I've got people to expect some feedback from. It's a really good question. If we take Blenheim, Blenheim has a mission, and that mission is to be the lifeblood of the local economy, to enhance the lives of local people, and to share and protect the extraordinary place that it's Blenheim. And it's that keeps me excited. I've actually worked at Blenheim, and Heather's worked at Blenheim as well for many years. I think I started at Blenheim about 30 years ago. I did leave and come back. But it's that share and protect that's really important. Okay, we're not a relic. Having a head of innovation at a heritage site is quite unusual, but it's our job as we're passing through to leave these buildings in a better shape than we find them. That, to me, keeps me employed at Blenheim and keeps me very excited. Now, how can digital help with that? Well, one key thing is look at our diversity of our audiences. How do we tell those stories to everyone in that way, in that personalised way? And I think we know the answer to that part. This is about sharing our stories. When do we stop apologising that we're spending all this money on these buildings and there's disruption? When do we stop apologising for the scaffolding that's on the building? We can use digital technology and storytelling to bring people on that journey of why we're restoring, why we are sharing these impressive and important places for future generations. And then we start looking at protect and how we can use digital technology. We can start looking at things like digital twins. Now, a digital twin is a replica of a physical environment, and we're already using our sensor network to start measuring environmental impacts to the building, looking at climate change, looking at climate resilience, and using these very clever sensor networks to allow us to simulate forward the likelihood of something failing in the building. And likewise with these sensor networks, we can start looking at how we can reduce our costs, both in terms of the conservation and restoration, but also our running costs. We spend about £650,000 a year running Blenheim's electricity and heating. Okay? With the help of sensors and the help of better control, we're able to save 10, 20 or 30% roughly of our energy use. And this all adds up to better protection for our cultural heritage in the future. So in summary, the answer to the question is sharing and protecting, sharing using digital platforms to allow us to tell stories in personalised ways to a complete diversity of audience and demographic, and then protecting and using technology to learn more about the building, to allow us to protect that building in the future, both for environment reasons, but also from conservation and restoration.
Thank you very much, and I'm very happy that you already showed some excellent examples of Archie and the virtual specs. They are very different from those which we had a few years ago, which weren't a success. Thank you very much. Then we're going to go to our own, I would say Sari is a treasure for us who are born and live in and work in Porvoo. You have extensive experience in the tourism and hospitality business. And actually yesterday she told me she finalized a training in security because you organize such many events, festivals, concerts, heritage sites, etc., etc. So how you use sensors in order to track down these visitor amounts? How can sensors actually, how do you benefit from those when it comes to customer experience?
Anna, first I have to say that you as a DJ, I learned about you yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
And me as a bouncer, we can probably start a business together. We just need a bartender if anybody's
I love
available.
It. If anybody wants to apply, we're open for application.
We are open for the opportunity. But about sensor data, first of all, I think what is important for us, the most important thing is to understand our visitors. We want to know who they are and where they come from and what are they interested in, because that helps us to create new and better content for them. And the sensors, they allow us to see where they are going and what they are like interested in, what kind of content they are using there. So that is probably one of the most important things. And of course we can personalize, like Eda said here, that one size doesn't fit all. So we can personalize the content for them. The other thing is that we can, of course, use the data for our decision making. We can in addition to the sensor data, we use also the mobile data, phone data, which allows us to see where the people come from. And when we use together all this data and analyze it, we can make decisions in our marketing, what kind of marketing our customers are interested in and where to kind of show it in Finland or in abroad as well. And of course, we use the data also to show our political decision makers how we use our resources and what kind of impacts, for example, our events have here in Porvoo. And that is the very, very important for us to have this data. And also our entrepreneurs are very interested about the data. They have been Susanna has been doing a great job with our entrepreneurs and they are very interested about the data as well. And we have been very open with it, with our entrepreneurs. And there was this case just a few weeks ago that there was this real estate agent that contacted us and asked if he was able to give the data to a company that was thinking about opening a business in Porvoo, and they wanted to know about the customer flows in Old Porvoo. So there are many use cases for the data that we have. And the third thing that I would like to mention is that we have to be very open about the data to our customers, to visitors, and to our entrepreneurs and political decision makers, because we want them to trust us. We want them to trust that we know what we do with the data, and that is something that we also want to keep in our minds, that trust is very important for us.
Thank you very much. I think transparency is extremely important today. And I think it's very similar to what Eda said before, like the personalization. And also I think you talk a lot about don't make pre-assumptions about what customers want to experience. We need to actually listen to them and take them in, as they say. Sami Vepsäläinen, you're running a company called Hypercell, and you worked closely with Sari. We are very interested now when we talk transparency, and we all know about privacy regulations, we know about GDPR, etc., etc. How do you take these things into account? You just don't go and start measuring or filming or auditing things.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm pleased to be here. Thanks, Susanna, for the invitation. Really great project. First time I'm seeing the whole scope of it and so on. But yeah, in terms of personal privacy and so on, I guess the key thing is that, like, first of all, are you dealing with the personal information or no? In our case, it's a conscious choice that we basically just focus on the numbers with our sensors. We don't collect any kind of personal data in the first place. But the data is still very valuable because we can count the sort of dwell times and like details on which hour people are visiting in specific locations and so on. The other way to do this is, of course, that if bits and pieces of the information is somehow like there is personal information involved with the data, then you have to anonymize it somehow. And that needs to be an audited process how you do it. So there are many kind of technologies and sensors available. It's always very important that like these matters are being considered.
Yeah, these are very challenging issues because we have to be very aware of the legislation, and also we have different legislation in EU as we have in Dubai. You also work in Dubai a lot.
Yes, that's correct. So it's different on different regions, but more and more we have some clients in the US as well. So even there, they're pushing more for the personal privacy, because during this day and age, like everything is digital, and the personal privacy is still important. So like it's an important topic of discussion in the first place, that where should we draw the lines with the AI, and like obviously you have to ask permission before you proceed with things, just like David explained how they have done and so on.
Okay, then I ran into another tech guy yesterday evening. It was a pleasure. Let me introduce Özer Aydemir. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. And you represent a company called IOTIQ.
Yes.
The fantastic thing is you've been working with one of our very, very famous companies, Konecranes,
Yes.
which is in the cranes business, as well as for Aalto University. And you are very...
VTT as well.
Oh, fantastic. So Finland you're very familiar with
Yes,
doing
I'm
business
very
with
fond of-
Finns.
Yeah,
Yes.
I also like Finns very much. Suomi.
Yes, so how do you see the future role of AI? You also worked with blockchain technology, the Internet of Things with Konecranes. How do you see the role of tech in cultural heritage and especially creative industries?
The main motto of the 21st century is the rapid development. And since 2000, we witnessed that every 5 years there is another hype. And the last hype of this era is AI. So in the last couple of years, people on the street are dealing with artificial intelligence, getting some comforts, but also some concerns as well. But on the backside, in fact, scientists are researching on AI for multiple decades. To be honest, I took my first AI course 25 years ago from Professor Gurel. He was my machine learning teacher. And I bet he was researching on AI for a couple of decades in that year as well. But AI... The current state of the AI is a kind of hive mind. So we human beings created a lot of content over internet, billions of them. And now with the power of the hardware, systems are able to combine all of them and create the hive intelligence over 8 billion people. So, But when it comes to creativity, it's still a big problem for even artificial intelligence. So when we check out the cultural and heritage domain, there are two perspectives, consumption and production. I can say that AI will bring efficiency and comfort on the consumption perspective. So, as a technician, as a non-domain person, I am also consuming the content you guys provide. And we are ordinary people. We have difficulties to understand, difficulties to reach the content. And with the help of AI, those contents will come to us easily, and also the differentiation between contents will be made by the help of AI, and it will ease for us to consume the produced contents, the showed off materials very well. But on the other hand, when it comes to production, producing art still needs human being. So in that sense, what can I say? What can AI do is AI can be a big support system. In order to be creative on art or sports or anything that needs talent, you need to get the fundamentals first. So AI can make it faster to make you to learn the fundamentals of the subject. But after having all the fundamentals, it still relies on you to be the creative. I mean, if you stick on the AI on the creative sides, then AI will converge everything into the same point. So AI, if we use the AI on the wrong way, it may kill the creativity as well. So, but I'm sure in the near future, with the upcoming developments in the hardware domain, and also we will witness all at least in a decade, quantum computing will be the next hype, and it will bring more power, computational power, and it will increase the capabilities of AI. But it doesn't mean that everything will be done by computers. It will support human being, like as in 50 years ago, or 80 years ago, after the invention of the tractors, it didn't kill the works of farmers, but it helped farmers to harvest in bigger lands. Now, in the near future, with the help of AI, the unit production or efficiency of the software developers and technicians will be much more better, and it will decrease the cost of the software, and softwares will be scattered all around our lives.
Thank you very much. Now we got a good look at both the creation, how to use AI as a tool in content creation, and I think also the co-creation is very important to take the customer with you, as well as customization. And then we had even the data protection issues, which are huge these days, as well as where we are going with. And I'm very happy that you still say that we need human beings. Yes, I'm just wondering when I'm going to be replaced by a robot.
So we still stick on the blue pill.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Özer, Sami, Eda, Sari, and David. Now we're going to continue. Should we have a short break before the? What do you think, Robin? Before the roundtables. Okay. Then I will take my secret paper and tell who's going to be where. I hope nobody's surprised. Okay, so what I'm very interested in, okay, David, you already introduced your kind of best practices, but maybe what has been the challenges with using technology in order to enhance cultural heritage?
This is on. There's lots of them. The first thing is when you're dealing with a World Heritage Site, you can't put things exactly where you want them to be. We've used some technology, very different, I think, sensors than Porvoo's using. So we're using bidirectional sensors. So we've got challenges in terms of the physical built environment, in terms of where we can put them. There's lots of challenges in terms of the amount of data that you create as well. I think the challenges with the project, I think, is getting people to think differently about the use of technology and how it can enhance the visit. And also taking into consideration, we have a number of tour guides at Blenheim, and like you, we're not trying to replace their jobs. So how can a digital tool work with real people? And we've been very successful, actually, in tying those two things together. I think the guides are really embracing now this as a tool, and also helping our international visitors where we can't always provide a foreign-speaking guide. We can point them in the right direction using this sort of technology. So, yeah, challenges of people, as always, and challenges of the built heritage environment, I think, typically. But the opportunity outweighs the challenges for sure. The fact is our previous multimedia guides were always very much inside the palace, and you were left on your own in the gardens. Now we can explore and expand all of that storytelling right across the estate. So definitely the opportunity with using digital technology outweighs the challenges of implementing it on a heritage site.
Very good. And you also said that you use a different platform than Porvoo. I would ask Sami, actually, isn't this a challenge? You work with a lot of different companies, and we actually talked about it earlier, that different companies, different event companies tend to use different systems and different platforms. Is it difficult to unify these tech systems?
Yeah, there's always a challenge. Like even now that we have better AI tools and so on, but the integration of different data flows from here and there, and then making something visually understandable out of it, it's always a challenge, definitely, and it definitely requires human input and logic behind it. And we've noticed that it's especially important to have a dashboard for people to view the data. A computer can understand any type of forms of data, like databases and so on. But the human mind requires usually a visual interpretation, and that's very important for us.
Okay. Thank you. Actually, a good idea came from Robin. Let's ask the audience. Do you have any questions for our panelists? I can walk around. No questions. Oh, wonderful. I knew I could trust you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Kia Lindström from Hagaelia. I'm really curious about the business opportunities which this platform offers to companies, business side. So, what are they?
Who wants to?
All right. Actually, what we dream is, of course, to support the society. We are not only interested in uncovering the hidden stories that people have, the heritage that they have, for instance, but at the same time, knowledge is very important and valuable. There must be some sort of income stream. So we are thinking about having some sort of a business model behind CULTURATI as well. But it should be also serving to the society. So we like the companies to be able to make money with the help of the content they create, with the help of the advertisements, the companies, but at the same time, we need to think about the, privacy issues, because as far as advertisements are concerned, there is always an algorithm collecting some, personal data. But maybe we can turn the world upside down and bring some more ethics into that too. So we can maybe show the world that without taking personal information, still, advertisements could be working for the benefit of these establishments and also the society. Because what we have in mind is we are, educators, professors at the universities, and what we dream with Arzu is always providing scholarship to students with the help of the income stream. Of course, we like visitors to discover the shops of the entrepreneurs, so they would be making more income with the help of the products that they sell, because they will be discovered by more visitors. At the same time, when the person is in the shop, will be able to hear about the stories of the individuals and the heritage in the shop. So that is really untold. It's not on Google. You can't find it in Wikipedia. So it is the treasures of the individuals. And these will be told as well. And with the help of the income stream, with the help of the visitors we hope that they will be making more shopping, because they will be understanding, how this dress is made or the jewelry is made, what is the inspiration. All this are important, and visitors like to take some things with them. And if it is something special, with a story behind it, they are going to enjoy the site and will always remember and take it with them. Would you like to add? You would like to add? Okay, please do so.
For companies, it's always important how they are evaluated in an environment. They are like Michelin stars. So is there some system to have something rate, how interesting this service is, this cultural spot is, or is there any
In the future, it is possible. Well, actually, It's a very good idea. Yeah. CULTURATI, ambassadors we were talking about with Arzu. We like these content creators to have some mission, about heritage, culture, and etc. But of course, in the future, there is a lot of potential in CULTURATI. And what we like to do is we really like to co-create. So these ideas, if comes from the society, this is a delight. And you know what? Each site has its own realities. So Blenheim Palace is different than Porvoo. Ankara Citadel is different from Istanbul Rahmi Koç. So by choosing different pilot sites, we didn't imagine that this information, the richness of this information is going to come out. But from different content creators, different ideas come, different ways of doing things comes. But one thing is common, we are able to tell the uncovered stories of the places. So it is very important. And why not? There are CULTURATI ambassadors or some stars rating system that we assign. So as I mentioned, people would be making money with the help of YouTubers, sort of, personalities or ways. So there is a lot of potential. But we really need to work about the business model. And for the society's well-being, we like to spend this money back to the society, because it's the society, not somebody should be making money. Yes.
Okay, maybe we can hear you. Let's see.
I love this project.
Thank you so much.
I think there is a lot of opportunities to smaller players to make them visible this way. And at the same time, as human beings, when we have used to see, big cultural spots where to go, but then we don't know about the smaller ones. So this makes them more visible, and as human beings nowadays, we as well want to find something more personal, unique spots to go and have this experience and share it.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I love this project. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
you.
European Union has this vision, actually, making the small cultural creative industries more visible, accessible. European Union values this idea very much, and our project was around this. So if we can do, more for the society in line with the European Union's missions and visions, that is it really, we will be very, very happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You mentioned a lot of times business and business model, and for many people working for the cultural sector or art sector, it's a swear word. But yes, and I talked to David yesterday, and even although you're a non-profit organization, you run it very much like a company. But Sari, do you cooperate with? You mentioned that you provide data both to from a consumer perspective, but also business to business to companies. To what extent do you work with local companies?
Well, it's the core what we do. We are there for them, or we are here for them. That's the reason, one of the reasons why we exist. We do help them to grow their businesses, and we help them to find more visitors, and that is what we do. And we want to open, like I said, we want to open the data for them as well, and help them to grow and use the data. And one thing I wanted to comment on what Eda said here, that sustainability is very important for us. And the stories are the way to make the visitors understand Porvoo and the values, and also to respect the city and its companies and its entrepreneurs. And like Eda said, also to use the services because they value the place and the people and the entrepreneurs here as well. So that is one aspect also, which is very, very important here.
Please do.
Just to add, I think there's a potential here for an investment from your local tourist information centre. Blenheim's quite different. We're just a closed-off site. But actually, when we look at exploiting Oxford, we're very close to Oxford. We've got 7 million tourists coming into Oxford. How do we keep people in the area for longer? That's a really crucial question, because this is about economic benefit to your local community and your local area. And I think this is probably a very much stronger model, potentially, than the advertising model. Because if we've got these tourist information centres who are often struggling to get people in, but actually we've got more stories to tell and people stay in the area for longer, it equates very, very quickly to more money spent, more employment, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think you're... Yes, please.
I have an addition to you, David. Also, one of the main ambitions since the starting of the CULTURATI is to motivate people to come again. So we are looking for recurring visitors. So as a regular guy, I'm visiting museums, I'm learning with the static tours and with static content. So it doesn't motivate me to go to the same region again, same museums, same heritage area again. But with the help of the CULTURATI offers me alternative routes, alternative contents, alternative things. So for example, when I go to the Picasso Museum in Sevilla, one day it may explain me the style of the Picasso, what kind of art style he uses. On the other day, it can explain me what was the reaction of Picasso against civil war. And on the and in the third visit, the museum CULTURATI may explain me how he was supporting the football team Barcelona. So in my 3 visits, I can learn 3 perspectives of Picasso. So it may motivate me to go there 3 times. So if we are able to apply that to, for example, Porvoo, so people will be eager to visit Porvoo multiple times, and the small businesses will get benefits out of them. Also, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, I see another alternative business models through CULTURATI as well. Of course, most of the contributors are from the culture domain. But I see that the technology we develop, the platform we develop is also available for other domains as well. So not only in art or culture domain, but also any domain. For example, even we can apply to automobile galleries in order to sell their cars. Or we can apply to any other complex product producers to show off their solutions to their customers as well. So I believe that after finishing the CULTURATI, we will create a knowledge base. And that knowledge base will open new doors to new domains, new research projects, new businesses as well. In fact, that is the idea of any European research projects in Horizon or in any other clusters.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I think we got a good perspective of creating interesting and customized content together with the consumers, but I think also about the technology. And I think, David, you have a wonderful example with the frames, that the technology, it's not like consumer just will find it. It has to be very intuitive. And once you tried it, you may get hooked. And I think the third, the security, which is very important in the times when hackers can empty your bank account in 5 seconds. Very, very fantastic you're here. Thank you. We will not let you go yet. I will tell you a little bit about the roundtables. We have 3 of them here and 1 online run by Jonathan. Am I correct? Yes. Wait. I look at my secret book. Da-da-da-da. So, Özer, you will go to the table 1 and you will discuss unlocking AI's potential for promoting culture and arts. How interesting when you just mentioned the Picasso Museum in Sevilla, so you can easily move on from there. Wonderful. So those of you who want to join Özer, go to table 1. Then we have table 2 with Eda. Unearthing cultural heritage stories, discovery and amplification. And that's table number 2. And the third one is with David, innovating and evolving for greater impact. And you will be in table 3. And online we will have Jonathan Karkut, talking about scaling up CULTURATI, expanding to new horizons. Yes.
And for those participating in the online session, you can look at your email. You've received a link to the session. And Jonathan is there online already waiting for you. So join. And Arzu will also join